Hello. How long does a written warning last on file? Another frequently asked question that we get here at Harwood HR Solutions. Look, we all dream of working in a harmonious and trouble-free environment. However, this is just not the real world. Humans are humans. People are people. They make mistakes. They decide to be awkward. They can be divisive. This is just a fact of reality. It's life. Thankfully, most people want to be productive and want to perform well and want to do the very best at work. So let's not put this out of perspective. The majority of people actually want to be good employees. However, from time to time, things happen. When things do happen, business need to address things quickly, swiftly, and in the right way. So firstly, if there is an element of misconduct or some poor behaviour in the business, typically what you would do is have a conversation with that person, try and nip it in the bud, try and resolve it through a conversation, pointing them in the right direction and warning them that if it continues, then potentially more serious action may be taken. So most issues can be resolved through discussion. No need to follow through a process, etc. However, when things escalate or things are more serious and the issue is more serious, then a company needs to follow a process, policy or procedure. So tip number one is all businesses need to have policies and procedures in place that outline and clearly define what their disciplinary policy is. If it doesn't have that in place, then the employee can rely on statutory minimum guidance to be followed. However, it's always better for the company to have defined that policy and made sure that it's clear and relevant to their business and industry. With some situations, an individual may commit an act that is so bad that they are potentially dismissed for gross misconduct, having followed due process. But most of the time, it's an issue, a performance issue, or it's a minor piece of misconduct. And in that situation, a company may need to follow through a process where they follow through from a first written warning, a final written warning, and then ultimately dismissal. So how long do those warnings last on file? Well, typically a warning will last on file between 6 months and 12 months, depending on the severity, and depends on what's in the policy and procedure of the company, but typically 6 to 12 months. Early warnings tend to be 6 months, final written warnings tend to be 12 months. However, there are times where the issue is so severe that it didn't quite suggest that it should be a dismissal, but a final written warning may then last on file indefinitely, dependent on the situation. But the company really just ought to make sure that however long that warning stays on file, that it's appropriate and reasonable for what's gone on. Ultimately, always seek HR advice, right? If in doubt, seek HR advice. Make sure you have policies and procedures in place. Make sure that you're using the whole disciplinary process as a corrective procedure, not a punitive procedure. So you're correcting a situation, not punishing somebody. And if you go in with that sort of mindset and you're being fair and reasonable and seeking the right advice, then you're not going far wrong. Thank you very much.